Welcome to Chase the Pace podcast.
I'm Spencer.
And I'm Kira.
We're going to be breaking down Formula One news, race breakdowns, and bold takes.
Let's go.
So today we've got 5 special segments for y'all, being our first episode. Starting off with Casuals Corner, we're going to talk about some history, some facts, and just the general basics of Formula One. Next, we have why 2026 is different. If you're a fan in 2025, you know that there's significant rule changes coming in 2026. So we're going to use that segment to fill in the gaps and let y'all know what's coming new.
Next, we'll have early expectations. What do fans think about driver pairings? Do you think that they'll adapt or no? Then we have Rumor Has It, where we'll be talking about everything from the factory to the freeway.
Absolutely. And then last but not least is our signature segment, Who's Got Pace?
We'll find out.
Starting off with Casuals Corner, we started this segment and we started it first because F1 has been growing massively in America where we are.
Yep.
Not a lot of people know about it, especially younger generations are not as interested in it. However, after the release of Drive to Survive during COVID, everybody's at home watching TV. It's just blown up in popularity in the Americas. I mean, we now have 3 Grand Prix in a given calendar year. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So a little bit about F1, the general basics. This year in 2026, we have the addition of an 11th team, meaning there are 11 teams and 22 drivers on the grid on any given race weekend.
Yep. Welcome, Cadillac.
Welcome, Cadillac, the first real American team. Haas.
Yep.
Anyway.
They're out.
Well, they're still in, but they're out. You know, they're American.
Cadillac has taken the
Cadillac
top tier
has
over
taken
them.
it, absolutely.
Sorry. Watch the Super Bowl for that livery reveal. If you know, you know.
And we'll let y'all know our reactions in episode 2.
To everyone's livery.
Oh, yeah. But we have 11 teams, and they're fighting in the Constructors' Championship, or the Team's Championship. So the points that the drivers score in a given weekend are added together, and that's the team score. And that's, 1 to 11, with the first team making hundreds of millions of dollars in sponsorships. The bottom teams, their names don't even get mentioned.
Yeah.
It's kind of bums. And
Which
then,
can put them at a disadvantage at times because the less money you have, less money that goes towards developing a car. So, and maybe less money from sponsors or sponsors saying, bye.
It's very hard to ball on a budget when you're racing because it's a very expensive sport.
Especially F1.
Absolutely. We also have the Drivers' Championship. That's each individual driver, 22, fighting against one another, each for precious points to achieve the most coveted award, the Drivers' Champion Award. Deemed the best. I mean, once you get this award, you're pretty much considered the best driver in the world at that time.
Because F1 is the pinnacle of motorsport.
Absolutely. Because it is the pinnacle, there are 24 races across 5 continents.
Yep,
Beautiful.
throughout the year.
All over the world.
Yep.
Every which way.
Which is super cool because I don't think a lot of racing series could stay the same.
No.
So,
Something
makes them
so
unique.
broad and international and unique. Absolutely.
Yep. So, in a race weekend format, we have practice and unpractice. On Fridays, you'll have practice 1 and then practice 2. And then Saturdays, you'll have practice 3 and then qualifying. And then Sunday, you'll have the race. So at times, there's something called a sprint race. So in that situation, on Friday, you will have only one practice, practice 1, and then you'll have sprint qualifying. And then Saturday, you'll have the sprint race and then normal qualifying. And then Sunday, you'll have the typical race.
So it's like a double race weekend, really, with a mini race and a big race, and double qualifying too. So it can get a lot more active. And there are points in the sprint race.
Yep.
So there is
Top 8 get points.
Top 8. Now it's not as significant as the race, obviously, because it's a mini race.
Yeah.
But they still get credit where credit's due.
Yeah.
Like Lewis Hamilton winning in the China Sprint at the beginning of 2025 for Ferrari.
Yep.
Beautiful sighting.
But all points matter, so.
All points do matter. Every point counts.
Yep.
What's most important during these race weekends typically is the tire compounds. Now each car builds their own car from the factory. They have their own fuel, they have their own team, they have their own strategy. But the strategy is really focused around the tires. Now there are 5 different tires any team can choose from on a given weekend. They have softs, which degrade really fast, but they also have a really high temperature, so they are typically the fastest on track, depending on if there are regular race conditions on a bright sunny day.
Yeah.
Next are mediums, which are kind of in the name. They're kind of good in between of they won't degrade on you super fast. They still have some pace about them, but they won't last for super long stints depending on what team you're riding for.
Yeah.
And last but not least, we have hards. They degrade the slowest, however, you lose the most amount of time. Like softs, definitely the fastest, mediums, and then hards. Now, in rainy conditions, we have insers, that are kind of an intermediate tire. They're called intermediates. Everybody calls them inters, where it's somewhat drizzly. You need that traction, but you're only kicking up about 40 liters of rainwater around the track.
Right.
Versus you have full wets. Now that's when it's pouring down rain and you're spraying 100 liters of water every dang second. I mean, it's crazy. But those 5 tire choices are very crucial for a team because they must choose what will be fastest compared to their competitors on any given race weekend. And they only have a select number to choose from for all practices, qualifying, and race. So the entire race weekend, they only have a select few. So strategy in this is very important.
It is, especially when it's like raining per se, and you're either on inters or wets, and then all of a sudden the track dries. Then you go on slick, so you have soft, medium, hard. Which one do you go on? And then also you have to decide when is the right time, because sometimes it still might be too slick.
Right, and that's where pit stops come into massive play. Kiera, would you mind telling us more about pit stops?
Yeah, so they're mandatory 1 pit stop every race. There's no maximum, you can have as many as you want, but you must have 1. So here pit stops, they typically are 2 to 2.5 seconds. That's what teams strive for.
Ideally.
Yeah, ideally. Sometimes that's not what happens. Sometimes you have a longer pit stop, but that's not great. And so that's when you typically fall down the order, and you'll see that in a race.
And when we
Every
say,
driver.
absolutely. And when we say pit stop, we mean the time that the team actually has tire guns on that tire, taking the tires off, putting them on.
Yeah.
Around 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Now the actual pit stop itself, they have to pull into the pits. They have to go pit lane minimum speed or maximum speed, which is a lot slower.
Yeah. They have a pit limiter
pit
on
lane
their
limit.
wheel that they hit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Okay. So they just hit a little button. They're basically idling through.
Yep.
And it takes about 20 to 30 seconds depending on the track, the kind of pit lane it is. Meaning
Right.
that takes a lot of time out of your race, especially when you're trying to fight for a lead. You lose so many places, now you have to fight your way back up.
Exactly.
So that goes all back to tire compound and strategy choices.
Right. And you hope that your pit crew does their job. So, the fastest ever pit stop in F1 to today is 1.8 seconds. McLaren did that in 2023 in Qatar with Lando Norris.
Yay, Lando.
Yay!
Anyway, F1 drivers are elite athletes, though. I mean, they have to be mentally strong. You're flying around changing time zones all the time. I mean, you're making millions, but it takes a lot to get there. From an early age of childhood, you have to be in go-karting. Your parents have to invest millions. You have to be in the right setting, typically European. And then you have to get lucky and have skill and make it.
Right. And it's just also a tough sport mentally because, racing, there are highs and lows. And, make sure you still have that confidence to fight back.
If you want to see confidence problems, check out Lando Norris.
There's been improvement, okay?
There is an improvement. I mean, he is a champion right now.
He is a champion now, so everyone, watch your mouth.
We can back off a little bit. But while they also have to be mentally strong, physically, they also have to be extreme athletes.
Yeah,
They're
especially
like,
their neck.
They're like rock climbers, but instead of the hands, it's their neck. I mean, they have to have a sturdy base.
Yeah.
When you're facing 5 G-forces going from 200 plus miles an hour down to 40 in a hairpin turn, your body is going to be forcing you. That's just inertia. You're going to be going the opposite direction. So to have the strength to maintain yourself in the cockpit and not wobble your head, but still be able to
Maintain control.
Absolutely. Hit the apex, hit your breaking point, get a good release. I mean, and beat out your competitors.
Yeah. So it's super important. I don't think a lot of people recognize the physicality of it because they're like, oh, they're just in a car driving it. It's more to that, especially because it's like opened. They're not really closed in. But also, yes, F1, it's a lot of money. So these cars are multi-million dollars. So when they crash, obviously teams budget that, but it's just not great. So it's super expensive to get into the sport. That's why there are also only now 22 drivers on the grid.
Next, we got why 2026 is different.
Yes. So we'll have cars on track nearly every month, which is kind of different. So we'll have preseason testing in Barcelona, which is a private test. We won't get much insight on that. That's in January, towards the endish. So coming up here, actually. And then we'll have preseason testing that's public in Bahrain, 2 sessions of that, and that's back-to-back weekends in February. And then in March, 6th through 8th, we have our season opener in Melbourne, Australia.
Australian GP, baby. Let's go.
Oscar Piastri's home race.
The most nonchalant guy on the grid, by the way. I mean, Lord have mercy. But with 2026 comes new regulations and faster development cycles. Obviously, the timelines are crunched for these teams, especially with a lot of new adjustments. Let's get into it. First, we got no DRS. DRS has been a major part of F1. It means drag reduction system. That's when a chasing driver is within a second. He can open his rear wing on straights, giving him more downforce and therefore more speed advantage to help catch up.
And overtake the car.
However, now F1's got mom or moms. They've always had moms, but they got specifically mom now. Mom standing for what?
Manual override mode.
So apparently, because F1 now we're getting all battery related electrical for some reason. We deviated from V12s, 10s, I don't know why. But we got this battery, and essentially instead of using the rear wing and downforce to increase speed, chasing drivers can now use the manual override mode and this extra boost of battery, and that will give them that extra horsepower speed advantage on straights in order to catch up to drivers ahead of them. We also have a 50-50 power split. And this is something personally that I disagree with. I love screaming cars. Now, I love a V10. Like what guy doesn't love a nice V10?
Yeah, I think if you ask most of F1 fans if they'd rather have the engine now or a V10 or V12, honestly, they'd probably pick the V10 or V12. I would too.
But instead we have this hybrid vehicle like it's some kind of Honda
This
Pilot or
battery,
something.
overtake with your battery.
We have a 1.6 liter turbocharged engine paired with a 50-50 some kind of electrical motor. I mean, we haven't really heard a whole lot about it. It is, early in the season and not many teams have really come out with much yet. Initially, we heard in 2025 that Mercedes was really struggling to allow their battery to last the whole race. Mm-hmm. Now apparently they have the edge, but we'll get into that later. But with a 50-50 power split, we're deviating from DRS and going to MOM, and battery management becomes the key to success for these drivers. Being able to save their battery, and they've been doing that previously in corners in certain moments, but now it matters more than ever.
Yep.
We also have an updated qualifying. With a new team on the grid, we got some extra players coming to bat. Mm-hmm. I mean, now we have in Q1 6 drivers leaving a final 16 in Q2. And then the final 10 showdown still remains in Q3. But just getting rid of those extra drivers in Q2 and Q3, or Q1, because who cares?
Yeah, we only care about Q3 anyways, right?
Absolutely.
Next, we have early expectations. So fans have voted who they think have the best driver pairings in 2026. So
credit The Race. This is from The Race magazine.
Yes, magazine The Race. So they gave us, specifically us, top 5 driver pairings based on fan votes. So coming in number 5 is Mercedes, and that's because of Kimi Antonelli. So there's hesitation where will he live up to expectations? Will he be able to adapt? This is his first time going into a different generation of cars, and George has experience.
Yes, George Russell. I mean, he's 27, 28, 29. He's right around that same age as Charles Leclerc and Max.
Yep.
Still getting up there, getting race wins, getting podiums. But Mercedes did get the nickname last season of the Taliban for a reason, the way they was crashing into other people.
Yep.
So while they do have some experience, they've got a very vivacious rookie with a lot of hype. I don't think he's living up to it. But
we'll see.
They still have a very strong team that has them placed at 5.
Mm-hmm. Kimi did get 2 podiums this past season, so it's pretty good.
That's true.
But we'll see. Will he be able to adapt to the new car?
Coming in at number 4, though, we have America's favorite team, Cadillac, with 2 drivers who have been out of the game but have been veterans of the game. We have Sergio Perez, a.k.a. Checo, a.k.a. the Mexican Minister of Defense, a.k.a. a guy who just said, let me just go have 4 kids and come back to the sport I love. I mean, great driver. The only American, and I know he's not American, but he's from South America. That's just in the Americas. He's the only American driver. So we got to support him. We got to show the love. And he was a great driver next to Max. I mean, he got that Minister of Defense nickname by boxing out some of the best attackers in the world.
Yep.
And paired with him is your favorite Finnish nudist, Valtteri Bottas. I don't know. You take it away on that one.
So yes, Valtteri, he was Lewis Hamilton's teammate at Mercedes for a really long time, so he has a lot of experience. So he was a reserve driver this past season with Mercedes, didn't get to drive a car, but he has a lot of experience. So I think he'll be a good asset to Cadillac. So
Both of them have so much experience. But they've also, I mean, Checo's been out of the game for a year now. He got cut in 2024. And Valtteri's been a reserve driver. They're both in their mid to late 30s. Both just doing side quests at this point. So the fact that they're both on an American team, brand new, is this a beacon of hope, or are they going to be the new Haas? I mean, I would hate to see that. I would really hate to see that.
Yeah.
Especially with two guys of such careers like theirs.
But people have faith. They have faith in the new team. So third, we have Red Bull. So people think that Red Bull should be third, not because they don't have faith or trust in Max,
Of course.
but he has a new teammate yet again.
Again.
This is not a shocker.
What is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I swear we're at like 5 or 6.
5
now.
or 6 for
6,
sure.
at least.
Yes.
I mean,
So
gosh.
Isaac Hadjar has been promoted from VCarb. He had an incredible rookie season,
Minus that first race.
minus that first race in Australia. We won't talk about that,
No.
will we? But people think that he could be a good teammate with Max.
Absolutely. I mean, he
So-
was the most consistent rookie in my opinion. He was constantly getting up there, fighting in the points.
In a VCarb.
In a V-carb too. The young Frenchman definitely has a lot of hype around him as well.
And
I think-
potential.
I think he's very underrated compared to someone like Kimi Antonelli who got his own damn Netflix special. I mean, come on.
Yeah. So, will Isaac be able to adapt to this Red Bull car? Will he be able to compete with Max? I don't know.
I hope
We'll
so
see.
for his sake.
Yeah,
His
me
career's-
too.
Oh yeah.
So second, we have
Ferrari, y'all, let's go. Maranello, Italy, baby. We got the best driver pairing all time. We got Charles Leclerc. They put this dude's face on top of Jesus in Italy, all right? That should just tell you everything you need to know. He's hungry. He's never won a championship. That boy
could have in 2022, but we won't talk about that.
But he's starving. He is hungry. He deserves it. I mean, Ferrari, let's hope so. And then paired with him is the current GOAT who's still alive of F1, undisputed, Lewis Hamilton, Sir Lewis Hamilton.
Yep.
7-time world champion, some debate 8, some debate 11 world time championship. Karun Chapman told me about that. But, I mean, besides the Papaya team, they really are the best. They got the most experience. They've got the most hunger. They are the dogs in this fight that I see really coming out on top if the car comes out from the factory
Yeah.
with some pace.
And they have a better strategy because Ferrari strategies
Yes.
are not known to be great. And same with McLaren. So, that's quite interesting. But people have faith in Ferrari because it's new year, new regulations. Will they live up to expectations? Will they be able to adapt? We'll find out. So, number 1, fans vote, McLaren. Okay, so why McLaren? Well,
Yes, why? Why?
well, because of the continuity, chemistry, and momentum that the team also has. And the teammate relationship between Lando and Oscar. So they have a great
Off track.
relationship off track. On track, Papaya rules. They're both number 1 drivers. That's just how McLaren works, which is not great at times just because there can be a lot of issues and conflicts on track. And then fans just take a vote on who they like better. It's just a mess in disguise. And then also McLaren just doesn't have the best strategy at times like Ferrari, but they were able to pull out the constructors for 2024 and 2025. And then they had Lando Norris, their world champion of 2025.
I would say that consistency, I mean, to be team champions 2 years in a row, and you've got 2 number 1 drivers. Most teams, they weren't putting up numbers nearly close to what Lando and Oscar were last season. I mean, they were miles ahead of everybody. The team's championship was already decided halfway through the year.
Yeah.
I mean,
Max came back towards the end. but-
Yes, but unless he had a twin racing for him in that other Red Bull seat, there was no shot that Red Bull was going to win that team championship. I mean, McLaren really has shown that they have that dominance currently, especially with their development of the 2025 car. I mean, very impressive, very impressive. I got to give it to them.
Yep.
But who cares? Who cares? Who cares? It's McLaren. We're all about that, the red, right? And the underdogs, the Cadillacs, not Lando.
So-
Norris.
What's an underrated team that I don't feel like a lot of people talk about?
That's true, yeah. I mean, there's 11 teams now. We just talked about 5. What about the other 6? Like, what's the potential there? What do we think?
I think Williams. I think Williams has a really good driver pairing as well. Alex Albon and Carlos Sainz. Carlos Sainz, he really lived up to like major expectations. I think he surpassed people's expectations. He had 2 podiums, in which when he left Ferrari, he's also Ferrari's most recent race winner. But he also said, I don't think I'll be getting a podium, at least for now, with Williams. That's the goal one day. But he did not come into 2025 thinking he'd ever get a podium. He got 2.
Yeah, I mean, his performance was very impressive at Ferrari. I mean, surprisingly, they cut him. I mean, I love Lewis in red, but surprisingly, they cut him. He goes to Williams, who has previously in the past decade been a very underperforming team. But now with Alex Albon putting in consistent results in qualifying and the races, both with very decent racecraft. They're both experienced drivers, but they still have youth about them.
Yep.
I mean, it really is looking like a great team. With James Vowles at the helm, too, their team principal, I mean, they really look very strong. They keep getting better each year. They're showing progression.
Yep. They finished 5th on the constructors, which is really good.
Where are they going to end up next? I mean, Lord, we didn't even talk about Aston Martin, who had all this hype and now gone.
Yeah, but we'll see for 2026.
We will see. Now, I'm not a betting man. Neither is Kiera a betting man. Might be a betting woman. But
No.
as I'm sure you've all have seen these bull crap Kalshi prediction market ads, we pulled up the current look to see, all right, who's going to take the Drivers' Championship? And of course, at number 1 and number 2, which are very close percentage-wise at 28 and 27, Max Verstappen and George Russell. Now, a lot has been said, and we'll get into that in rumor has it, about what has been said about this Mercedes team and the car that they're developing. But what's not been said already about Max Verstappen and his skills behind the wheel. I mean, the dude sim races more than he takes care of his own child. And I firmly believe that. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. You're a 4-time world champion. Some say 3, some say 5. And I mean, he really had a comeback drive last year. He has a never quit mentality, a big fuck you mentality. And he's the best driver on the grid. I hate to say that, but it's true.
Yep.
If you put them all in equal cars, he's going to
Max
come out on
most
top.
likely come out on top. Some people would argue Lewis, but
I would love to argue Lewis, but I think...
yeah, why do people put George in second? Well, I mean, I just think because people have a lot of hope for Mercedes this year. And George is also, I think, pretty hungry to get a championship under his belt. It's been a while, and he's been the team leader since this past 2025 season at Mercedes, so there's hope.
Now, since Lewis has exited and Toto Wolff, Mercedes' team principal, has asked George to step up into this leadership role, he still has been making mistakes that a young driver would make. That's why they're both named the Taliban, not just one or the other, all right? They're both crashing into people, making mistakes they shouldn't be making, and they're not putting in consistent results like a world champion should. So,
Like Lando Norris did this past season.
like Lewis Hamilton for 7 years, all right? In a career that's been longer than I've been alive, all right? Not her, but me, old ass.
So, in 3rd and 4th place, people have Lando Norris with 16%, and then his teammate, Oscar Piastri, at 11%. Following is Charles Leclerc at 7%. Then Fernando Alonso, which might be a shock to some people given his age.
I mean, we haven't even talked about Aston Martin. There hasn't been really too much being said about Aston Martin so far.
Yeah.
Yet, this guy who's at, 44, 45? 2-time world champion 2 decades ago?
Yeah.
I mean, he still has a fighting chance.
Yeah, he's tied with Charles Leclerc, 7%.
And he's above Lewis Hamilton, and somehow Kimi is above Lewis Hamilton as well. Fernando, Antonelli, and then Hamilton. I mean, come
And then
on,
Carlos
y'all.
Sainz.
Of course.
Yeah. You can never count out Carlos.
I think you definitely can in a Williams, but
Hey, he exceeded expectations in 2025. The hope is he does the same for 2026.
world champion?
I would love to see Carlos as a world champion.
I would love to see that too. But let's be realistic here.
You never know.
We don't know.
So, that's what people have to say. We'll find out if any of these are actually true. I don't think you can never count Max out for anything. I think that really was proven this past 2025 season, especially towards the end there.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think this segment for sure shows, will people be able to adapt? Will these drivers be able to adapt to these new regulations, or will they not?
some drivers, they like Lewis Hamilton, it took him a year and he still hasn't mastered his Ferrari.
Yeah.
And now we're jumping into whole new regulations, whereas these rookies, these young kids and their damn iPhones, I mean, these Gen Alphas, I mean, they can
They're
adapt
still
like
probably
that.
Generation Z.
I mean, they're
but-
Gen Z, but I mean, if you look at any of these rookie drivers, they look like they could be your children in 6th, 7th grade. Especially Kimi. I mean, come on. He looks like he's fresh out of middle school.
Cute little Kimmy.
But who knows? Adaptability, familiarity, strength of competition, strength of the driver themselves. Who's going to come out on top?
Yeah, we'll find out. Now we have Rumor Has It, where we'll be talking about the Mercedes engine first.
Absolutely. Because why the hell is George Russell at top 2 right now in the Drivers' Championship prediction markets? That's
Next
insane.
to Max Verstappen.
That's insane. He's done nothing. Anyway, so apparently a snitch from the factory at Mercedes came to us directly and only. I mean, very special little inside scoop. Am I right?
Yeah, because we're exclusive.
Very exclusive, totally exclusive. Now, what he or she told us was that Mercedes is going to be creating their engine block out of steel, which has a lower melting point than aluminum. Now, the FIA, or Formula One's governing body, makes teams limit their gas, they're 50-50, but their gas-powered engine must have a compression ratio, which is the cylinder that creates the power. It must be at a limit of 16-1. Now, using steel, this is a metal that will deform under temperatures where the car is at speed. So once it gets going, it's going to get real hot. The metal's going to melt. And this compression ratio is actually going to increase from, instead of 16-1, the legal limit, to 18-1. Mercedes found this little loophole and now they're exploiting it.
Yeah.
And because they have a greater compression ratio in their engine, it's going to give them 15 to 20 more horsepower, giving their engine and their engine recipient, other teams that also use their engine, a massive, or not massive, but a significant competitive advantage.
Yeah. And so the other teams that are using this engine besides Mercedes are McLaren, Alpine, and Williams. And Alpine is the newest person to use this engine, as they used to have Renault, but they ditched Renault and said, let's use Mercedes this time, because guess what? We finished 10th in the constructors in 2025. So maybe there will be a little bit of hope in 2026 for them.
Change is necessary, absolutely, when you're in
Yeah.
teams.
So next we have the Red Bull engine.
The Red Bull engine now is Ford powered, the only team having a Ford powered engine, except for VCarb, obviously, their sister team.
Yeah.
Now, this is Ford's maiden season in F1, so we have no clue what they're really going to be bringing to this engine. They say they're bringing parts from their other race divisions. I say, I mean, come on. It's their first time. The same kind of respect goes to Cadillac. Like, we know y'all have other racing divisions, you're strong in those, but this is Formula One, the pinnacle of racing. Do you really think your engine just first try is going to have what it takes? You're not Adrian Newey, I hate to break it to you. However, rumor has it that Red Bull is actually going to, from their electrical engine, have a 10 kilowatt advantage, which is predicted to have a 0.3 to 0.4 second advantage in a lap, which is massive, considering racing margins are so small, down to thousandths of seconds sometimes.
Yep.
Now, they also have some reliability issues and some legality concerns, it being Ford's first season. However, Red Bull, being the demons they are, they're already trying to file a formal and legal complaint against Mercedes because they found that loophole in the compression ratio, trying to equalize the competition because they can't catch up. Not right. However, now
We have Ferrari.
we have Ferrari. Now, this is very...
What makes them unique?
What makes them unique? Well, you might ask, it's not that unique that they're using aluminum, which has a very higher melting point, so it's not going to deform under high temps. They're not going to get that horsepower advantage. However, leaks have been going around saying that Ferrari has achieved a significant weight reduction because they've been using their Le Mans car.
Which won this past season.
Won this past year. Winning Le Mans car. They've got finally a racing division that has a winning car. Let's use that technology in our non-winning division. Absolutely. Why have we not done this before? I mean, come on, y'all. But the benefits from this technology from their Le Mans car come with a lighter and more compact gearbox, aka losing that weight. You've got advanced battery tech. You've got greater flexibility in the ballast placement, whatever the hell that is. And overall, all these advancements are trying to achieve, or going to achieve, better balance, especially with the weight and the ballasts. And also, you're going to have better mechanical grip. Now, we've got our fingers crossed. It's not a power advantage, unlike Mercedes, McLaren, or Red Bull, which is not that great. However, using an aluminum block, They're definitely going to be a lot more reliable since their engine is not going to be expanding and condensing under heat so much. So hopefully, instead of facing a 10-place grid penalty like maybe a Mercedes or a McLaren driver might face after that engine block cracks, hopefully Ferrari can catch some poles, some podiums.
With a longer lasting engine, essentially.
Yes, with a longer lasting engine, please, yo.
So next we have Aston Martin, who we really haven't talked too much about yet.
No.
But what's cool about Aston Martin?
I mean, well, what's not cool is Lance Stroll, first of all.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyway, but
We won't talk about Lance Stroll.
no, you're a nice guy, buddy. But they're riding with a Honda engine, which is the only team.
First time this year, actually.
Yes, Red Bull and VCarb just cut Honda for Aston Martin to now pick them up. Now Red Bull, Aston Martin also poached Red Bull's top engineer for their car, Adrian Newey. That's a big name, you probably heard it a lot. He's been building Max Verstappen's championship winning car. He's been in the game a long time.
He was with Red Bull for 2 decades, and he's the most successful designer
Absolutely.
in history. So
People hold him in very high regard. And now he's moved over to Aston Martin because Lawrence Stroll is cutting him a fat check. So you've got a great engineer. You've got a Honda engine, which could hit or miss. But something interesting I learned is that Aramco is the only one who's fueling Aston Martin.
yeah, and it's one of their sponsors.
It's one of their sponsors as well, a big sponsor. Now, the interesting thing about Formula One is also that each team has the choice of where they get their fuel from. Now, the fuel has to meet certain standards from that company. However, if it meets the standards, then any team can use any company's fuel. And Aston Martin is the only one that uses specifically Aramco. Now, why is that so important? Well, Aramco has been using this sustainable fuel that must be used in 2026 with the new regulations. And this fuel has actually shown significant telemetry advantages in F2 and F1, meaning that this fuel burns better than everybody else's fuel, meaning that they're actually going to be more productive with this.
Yeah.
Now, do we think that 44, 45-year-old Fernando Alonso and daddy's boy Lance Stroll are really going to do that? You have all this money thrown at this car. You might have an actual really good car. I mean, at the start of these past 2 seasons, they have had really strong cars. Now, is that what's going to happen?
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll keep it optimistic, but we're realist over here.
So now Williams, back to
Lastly, we have
Williams.
And they're partnering secretly with Porsche. Now, they have a quid pro quo agreement where even though Porsche is not in F1 officially yet,
But might be in the future.
might be in the future, but Williams is going to be getting their cutting-edge technology, simulation capabilities, and performance data that no other customer team has ever been able to receive from Porsche. Now, what Porsche gets out of this is that they get to dip their toes into F1, kind of see the operations and how Williams runs things. They get to put their name on something without actually putting their name on it. They get to toss their hat into the ring without actually putting their name on it. And potentially, they could even take over Williams like Audi did kick Sauber this past 2025 to 2026, which Porsche is a very dominant team
in other racing categories.
So it'd be amazing to see them hop in F1.
Yeah. So that's our rumor has it. Yep. And we'll see. Will the rumors live up to the hype?
Or will teams just meet expectations as usual? And lastly, we have our signature segment.
Who's got pace?
Who's got pace?
So first, who's going to set the pace this season?
Who is the benchmark that every team needs to chase after? Who's setting pole laps? Who's getting P1? And I hate to say this out loud, but McLaren really, I mean, the consistency, the driver pairing, they're staying really quiet on all their developments too. We haven't heard a whole lot on them.
I love it, by the way.
Unbiased, right? Subjectivity. No, we love them. They're a very strong team, and Mercedes is also setting the pace. I mean, there's way too much hype around this team.
And their engine.
For some of it not to be true. You have a good driver pairing, you have a good team principle, good strategy generally, good engine. I mean, they do seem like the benchmark. That's what everybody's been saying.
But will Kimi be able to adapt to these new regulations?
Well, will anybody? I mean,
will
George.
anyone?
I mean,
will George?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Are they going to keep being the Taliban? Keep crashing into everybody? Keep seeing these memes on my Instagram?
Mm-hmm.
I hope they do really get a title fight. It's been a while for Mercedes.
Yeah. I hope there's a fight.
Absolutely.
A new team in there, right? So, who's going to chase the pace this season?
who's in P2, P3, P4, P5. They're in the points, but they want to go. They want to go higher. They want to get on.
They
that
want
podium.
to set the pace eventually.
Absolutely. Now, I think Ferrari's absolutely up there. I mean, you've got great drivers, some hype. They never put it all together.
There's
They
either
never
strategy
do.
issues.
There's always a problem. There's always a problem. So forever, we're going to be chasing.
Yep.
I mean, how many years has it been since they've even had a championship? 10, 15, 20?
Too long, some would
Too
argue.
long. Some would just say, too damn long.
I mean, I thought McLaren it was a while until Lando. So,
Absolutely.
and then also Williams.
Williams, yes. You got a very solid driver pairing. James
Yes.
Vowles, he's seen success at Mercedes working under Toto.
Bringing up the team.
Absolutely. And now he's doing that same process at Williams. He's bringing everybody together. He's got the drivers.
Mm-hmm.
He's got the performance. He's getting the strategy. I mean, he's got the funds. And you can see it in the Constructors' Championship year after year. I mean,
Yeah.
they went from last to fifth.
Well, they
That's
were
a
ninth.
massive turnaround. Absolutely.
Yeah. So hopefully they'll be even better than fifth this season.
But they're not going to be better than Ferrari, let's say that much. And if they are, we're going to have problems come Sunday.
And then also like Red Bull, I could totally see chasing the pace
Absolutely.
too. With their new Ford engine, might not be reliable.
Yeah, we never doubt Max. Even in
No.
the third to fourth slowest car, he will set the fastest lap. Come
Max
Saturday.
always finds a way, no matter what is thrown at him.
Those sim races, all that practicing, they weren't for nothing, and it shows. Now, as a team, they've got some work to do, but you've got the best driver. He makes up for a lot of that slack that y'all create.
Yep. And
So-
then who lost the pace and therefore needs to pray for grace?
They need to go to church. And needs to really go to church is Ferrari, y'all. I mean, come on. Every year we have these expectations. Every year they let us down. Do you see these eye bags? Do you see my face? We're ashen.
So-
We're hurting.
Essentially, who needs to pray for the grace? Everyone we have not mentioned. So the rest of the grid.
We got Audi coming in, who really is a wild card,
They're using their own engine, Audi.
but they have been successful. I mean, they are probably the richest company, with Volkswagen being their parent company. They're definitely the richest company just in their own funds without sponsorships coming into F1.
Yeah.
They have the funds, they have the racing know-how. They haven't put it into Formula One, but they've been already working with Sauber so much, they're just honestly slapping a new name on it, but it's probably still going to be a lot of the same people.
Yep.
Now we've got Cadillac.
Also new team.
Again, wild card. You really don't know what you're going to get.
They're using a Ferrari engine, so
That's always a red flag, unfortunately. I wish it wasn't, but of course it is.
hey, maybe Cadillac might bring their own engine and use theirs one of these days.
One of these days. And we've also got the other American team, Haas.
Also using a Ferrari engine.
I see a trend here. I see a trend here.
This might be a
Jesus.
toxic trend.
A parasitic relationship, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Then you have Alpine,
Alpine.
and they've been a mess when it comes to their team principal.
Absolutely. They've got the Christian Horner. They've got the old Christian Horner. You know?
Will Christian come to Alpine?
That's true. Now we've got, oh man, they've got all the divas on that team, and they're still getting dead last.
Yeah.
I swear their old team principal left because of some drug. His brother got into some drug charges, and I'm not talking about some dime bag. He was on some federal charges.
Yeah.
So he had to leave immediately, get out of the spotlight. And then they sub him in with a guy who literally got caught cheating.
Flavio
Flavio
Briatore.
And now they're talking about
He
bringing.
was banned from F1, okay, guys?
It takes a lot to get banned from F1. Well, not a lot. But back in that day, it probably did take a lot, honestly. Like, he really was out here cheating. Come on, man. And you got caught, too?
And then we have V-Carb and Aston Martin.
Yeah, V-Carb, I mean, they're the sister team of Red Bull. They
Yeah.
really are just Red Bull's, oh, we're going to test y'all out, see what y'all do.
And if you're good enough, maybe you'll get promoted.
And it's only about the drivers. Now, they're honestly just proving themselves, which makes them hungry, makes them want something that maybe these other drivers get complacent. Now, obviously they aren't. But if you want to make it to the top tier, you don't want to settle at some B-tier team like V-Carb or Aston or Haas. Your goal is to make it to Ferrari, to Red Bull, to McLaren, Mercedes for these drivers. I mean, that's their big goal.
Yep.
Big name team, big contract, job security, and a potential title fight possibility. And they just don't have that opportunity at a team like that.
Yeah.
Who else have we not mentioned?
That's it. I mean, Aston Martin, just because Lance.
Yeah. If you don't know Lance Stroll, just look him up. That's all it's going to take. Fernando Alonso, he's a cool.
He has the most Q1 exits, by the way, in F1 history. I don't think anything else needs to be said. I honestly, for Lance's sake, I wish he'd perform better, but I don't see it. And if they're given a good car,
Yeah.
I don't know. Will Lance be able to deal with a good car? Or will he not? Or will he have more Q1 exits?
Absolutely, which is just pitiful. I mean, for your dad to throw everything, I mean, tens, hundreds of millions of dollars at just your little trust fund baby day job.
Yeah.
And just to perform like that. Now, Fernando Alonso, they do have the oldest guy in
With
F1.
a lot of experience.
Which, yeah, I mean, it's a lot of experience. He's a great defensive guy, but age is hurting him. If you watch the F1 movie, you saw Sonny just get beaten down by age and time. Formula One is a young man's sport. I mean, why do we think we have 18-year-olds racing? It's crazy. Yeah. Lord have mercy. But
that's it for this segment of Who's Got Pace.
We're going to find out who's really got it, who's setting the pace, who's chasing the pace, and who's praying for grace.
Yes. That's it for episode 1 of Chase the Pace podcast.
We made it. Did y'all make it, though? Let us know in the comments.
Before a single race has even started, expectations are already set.
In the next episode, we're going to be talking about preseason testing, who might have an early advantage, those beautiful liveries being unveiled, and also where the biggest question marks still remain.
So, thanks for listening, and make sure to check out our Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and all of our socials linked in the description below.
Until next time, I'm Spencer.
And I'm Kira.
And this has been
Chase the Pace.